They say they have told everybody that I started a live stream. Let me make sure that's the case. Are we in here? Can everybody hear me? My mic's on. Hope everybody's having a good afternoon. What time is it? 10:35 Pacific time. So we're in the afternoon on the East Coast. All y'all morning time on the West Coast. Hope y'all having a great week. Everybody's having a great day. Let's get into this conversation. Talk about this real quick before we get out of here. As y'all coming in, you can shout yourselves out. Tell me your locations in the comment section. We're gonna get into this in about 30 seconds. I just queued up an email that's gonna go out to everybody who's on my email list. You're not on my email list, check your emails because I got an email going out in like 30 seconds. So if y'all didn't get that, check that. That's coming. What is this? I'm just looking at some stuff in my back end here. All right, everybody. Let's get into this. For those of you who don't know me, I'll introduce myself in a second, and we're going to get into it. We're talking about what I just posted on my reels earlier today. Actually, I've been posting about this all week because I've been out here all week. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Dre Baldwin, former 9-year pro athlete, author of 33 books, creator of, done 4 TED Talks, created this whole brand called Work on Your Game, where I take all the mindsets and strategies that you need to make it as a top 1% athlete, and we translate those over from the sports world to the business world to help professionals like yourselves perform at a higher level, which means giving more value to your audience. Number 2, be more consistent. Number 3, make more money. So what we're going to talk about here today is why connections matter so much. And this is going to piggyback off of the 90-second reel that I posted earlier today. And hopefully y'all been looking at my story. If you didn't see my Instagram story over the last couple of days, I suggest you watch my story from yesterday, or at least what's left of it from yesterday. You need to see that story so y'all can see why this stuff matters so much, why building relationships, why making connections, why, and I'm talking about in-person stuff. I'm not talking about on Instagram. I'm not talking about on Zoom. I'm talking about in-person relationships, why this stuff matters so much. This is where the business is at, everybody. This is where everything is moving. This is where the business is at. This is where the game is at. This is the world that we are in today. So if you are familiar with my work, maybe you heard me say this, but even if you are familiar, maybe you didn't hear me say it because not everything that gets posted, everybody sees it, that we are in the collaboration era right now. We're not in the information era. Everybody has information, access to information. So having access to information doesn't give you power over anybody because everybody has it. So that's what I mean by that. And permission. It used to be if you had permission or you knew the right person, that gave you power over people. But now, no, you can connect with pretty much anybody. Nobody's like hidden. You can connect with anybody from anywhere these days. So that doesn't give you power anymore. What gives you power these days is not necessarily having access to a person, but it's having the relationships. The people who have the most collaborations and the most connections and are the most integrated with other human beings, those are the people who are going to get ahead the fastest in the world that we live in today. And that's why you do things like what I've been doing this week. I've been out at the 10X conference out here in Las Vegas. I don't know if any of you who's watching this right now live, but maybe some of you watching this on replay were at this event. If you are in business, you need to be, and everybody's in business in some form, you need to be going to where the people in your industry are gathering. So you need to figure out where that is. You need to find out whatever industry you're in. Go talk to somebody who's already in that game, who's already doing their thing in your same industry, and ask them, yo, where do all the people gather in this space? The people who are in this industry, where do they go? The people who are in this industry, where do they go? So wherever you work, go talk to somebody who's been doing it for 10 years longer than you and ask them, or somebody who's doing 10 times better than you and ask them, hey, where does everybody go to be in the same space at the same time to learn from each other, learn from other people who have been in the game, learn from other people who know stuff that we don't know? Where do I need to be? What rooms do I need to be in? What people do I need to meet? And keep asking that question of everybody in the space who is either doing what you're doing, maybe at a higher level than you, doing it different from you, or just doing it better than you or longer than you, and ask them. They will tell you, you need to go in those places. And I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why you need to do this, why this matters so much for your business, because this is the most important thing these days, folks. It's not you necessarily being the smartest. It's not that your product necessarily needs to be that much better than anybody else's product, because that is all very subjective. It is about you having the right connections and knowing the right people. So if you weren't in the room at the conference, yesterday. If you follow my Instagram story, I think I gave you a pretty good feel of it. I know how to use these stories things. This stuff comes kind of naturally to me. So I know how to use this stuff to show y'all what's happening. And hopefully y'all got the point, is that knowing the right people will get you ahead a lot faster than doing the right things, even at least by yourself. So the three things. Number one is the productivity. Now, everybody wants to be more productive. Everybody wants to get more things done. Everybody wants to achieve more. Dre, I want to be more effective. I want to be more productive. I want to get more things done every day, make more money, make more sales, etc., etc. Understand something. You will get more done through connections with other people than you will ever get done through your own efforts on your own. And I'm not saying that your efforts don't matter. I'm not saying that you shouldn't continue to work hard. Yes, you should continue to do that stuff, but understand, when you connect with other people, there are other people who know how to do the same stuff that you're working on, and they can do it a lot faster than you can. They've already cracked that code. So for example, yesterday, I'm in the business coaching space, consulting space. So I would talk to people and say, what do you do? I tell them I'm a business coach. I help people make money, help people build their businesses, and different types of people, different types of businesses, different types of entrepreneurs. They say, well, what are some of the ways that you do it? And I met people who do ads, and they can do ads better than I know how to do ads. I know how to do ads, but they know how to do it better than me. They specialize in that. So if I connect with someone who specializes in running advertisements, they could get my ads running better through that. I could get my ads running better through them than I could get doing it myself, because it would take me a long time to try to figure it out and crack the code and understand and test. And you're running ads testing, that's costing you money. What if somebody already knows how to do that? I connect with them. They get my stuff running better. I get better quality leads. I can make more sales, make more money. And then whatever I had to pay them for the service is worth it, because I make more money paying them for the service than I would make doing it by myself and saving the money from paying them. Y'all get what I'm saying? So that's why you make these connections. And also, it helps you trade in relationships, because when you know people who know people, you might meet somebody who you can't really do anything with them, but you might meet somebody else who could do something with them. So now you connect person A and person C, your person B in the middle, you're the middleman. So now you gave value to both of those people. So now they both remember you. Now they owe you one. So now when you need something from person A or something from person C, they'll be willing to help you because you connected them to another person to help them do more business. This is all the connection, people. This is all the economy that we're in. This is the collaboration economy. I shouldn't even say the collaboration era, because that could leave people somewhat confused. This is the collaboration economy. So the economy it used to run on permission and access. So if you had the right permission from the right people, or you had access to the right people and places, you had all the power. That was like back before the internet. Then we had the information era. That was when people who had access to the information. So back when you had to go to a library to get access to get information from a book, and most people didn't go to the library, whoever knew the right information had the power. Nowadays, all of that's gone. The biggest thing is whoever has the right relationships, they have the power. And the relationship is people knowing you, not that you can see the people, but they know you. So for example, yesterday, before the conference started, so they opened the doors I'll give you an example of how this works and how all y'all need to be playing the game. So you need to be going to conferences, first of all. I don't care what you do for a living. Even if you have a, hello? Sound check, testing, 1 2 1 2. Somebody let me know they can still hear me. I just had a call come through while I was in the middle of this live. Can y'all still hear me? We still active? Somebody leave me a comment, let me know we still active. Anyway, I'll keep going. I know it's a little bit of a lag time. So what I was saying was, when you go to events like this, and everybody needs to go to events. I don't care if you work a full-time job and you work for a company. All right, good. Appreciate it. Or you're an entrepreneur, you're doing your own thing, or you're somewhere in between. Maybe you're doing both at the same time. When you go to conferences, for example, this is what they do. They open up the doors the conference starts at 10 o'clock. Like the event, the material starts at 10 o'clock, but the doors open at 9 o'clock. So you get down there at 9 o'clock. And what I was doing yesterday, if you saw my story, I was just walking around the venue. I was just walking around because there's a bunch of people who get there. They got there at 9 o'clock and they were sitting in their seats. They weren't really talking to anybody. I would walk around, see somebody, Make eye contact with them. Hey, how you doing? Start talking to them. Hey, what business are you in? Why'd you come to the conference? What are you getting out of this? What's been the best thing you got from it? What are you working on right now? What's the next move in your business? And some people I talk to, there's nothing I could really do for them. Like, they weren't looking for a business coach. There's nothing I could do to them. I wasn't trying to sell them any of my books. It was just making connections, because you never know where that connection could lead somewhere in the future, because people change industries, people change businesses. They might know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. And a lot of times in life, folks, and this is a big thing, a lot of times your biggest, those relationship opportunities don't come from the people that you know the closest. It's not going to come from like your mom or your dad or your significant other or your brother or like one of your best friends or your business partner. It's going to come from somebody who you know lightly. They call it like the light connection. So it's not like somebody who you talk to all the time. It'll be somebody you know, or they know you, but it's kind of like a little bit of distance, but they know who you are and they know, like, trust you for whatever reason. They'll know somebody. So it's like 4 or 5 degrees of separation, but they know the person that you really need to meet. And because they're aware of you, that's where the connection comes from. So for example, yesterday, and I was walking around, I'm just trying to think of all the different people that I was talking to yesterday. Let me look through my story, see who I was talking to. I can't even remember everybody that I was speaking to. So there was a woman who does, she's a social media manager, and she has a social media management business, and she sells Mary Kay. Now, what can I do to help her? I don't need social media management. I manage my own social media. I like doing my social media. So I wouldn't hire a social media manager, at least not at this point in my business. And I'm not buying any Mary Kay. All right, Mary Kay is for women. So what can I do with that relationship? That business-wise, I can't make any money off her. She couldn't make any money off me. But here's the thing. Because we now know each other, and I'm going to follow up with her when I get to the airport. I got a little bit of wait time before my flight. When I get to the airport, I'm going to follow up with all these people that I met, and I'm going to make a relationship out of that. So now the next time she's in Miami, or I'm in, wherever she's based out of, we might meet and have lunch, or we might just stay connected, or we'll be following each other on social. And she might need one day a connection to somebody that I know, or I may need a connection to somebody that she knows. And again, that's a right connection. We're not doing any business. We're not exchanging any money. We don't really know each other like that, but we met, we shook hands, we had a conversation. Is a positive relationship. That light connection, that's going to be the one that's going to turn into something. For me, it's going to be something that turns into something for her. Those are the connections that really become big business for you. A lot of people that I know in the business world today, I got connected to by somebody who I didn't even know like that. They knew of me. Maybe they followed me on YouTube 5 years ago. They remembered me, saw me at a conference, said, yo, I used to watch you on YouTube. I met them, had lunch with them. We talked for 30 minutes. Now they like, yo, let me introduce you to these 6 people that I know. And one of those 6 people that they introduced me to, that became a business opportunity. You get what I'm saying? So this is why the connections matter so much, even if it's not somebody that can do anything for you right there on the spot. Like I talked to so many people that everybody's selling something. Like everybody who comes to a business conference got something to sell, but it's not like everybody you meet is going to buy your thing. I met a person also who was she's in business financing. So anybody who needs financing for, she said, any kind of financing for real estate, any kind of financing for business. Now we might do direct business, because I might be able to get some financing for certain things I want to do business wise through her. Maybe not. But because we know each other, maybe I don't need the financing that she's offering, but maybe I know somebody who needs it. So she said, well, who do you know? And I say, what kind of person are you looking for? And when she starts telling me the things she's looking for, I'm going to think of somebody, and then I'm going to connect her to that person, and boom, there's an opportunity. There's a guy I met yesterday, Brandon. He's from New York, and he knew me through basketball. So I stopped playing basketball 8 years ago. So that's how long ago he knew me from. But he remembered me. He saw me, and we started talking. He's like, yeah, I used to watch you when you did the basketball stuff. Now he's doing business. He's in real estate. He's doing pay-per-click ads. He's got all kinds of stuff going on. We talked for about 20 minutes. I asked him, what other conferences you going to? He said, well, I'm going to this one, stuff that's very niche in the things that he does, like real estate, things like that. I said, well, look, I'm going to this conference in April. You should come to this conference, because there's some people there who I respect, who I think you would get value from. And his business partner, here's the thing, his business partner lives in the city that conference is in. So he said, yeah, we'll go to that conference, because he knows who I am. And again, we never met in person. He just knew me from watching me on YouTube almost 10 years ago. So he's going to come to that conference, and who's he going to meet at that conference? What business might he do because of that connection that he made there? And I said, oh, you should go. Well, if you're in marketing, you need to go to this conference over here. Because he's like, yeah, I got these sales funnels, but I don't want to build sales funnels. I need somebody who can build funnels for me. I said, you got to go to the funnel hacking conference. You got to go there. It's in Orlando. Go to that conference. It's like this one, different types of people, but there's a lot of people there. You can make a lot of connections. If you want somebody who can build a funnel, Go to the conferences about funnels, right? That makes sense, right? These are where the connections come from. Now, again, I might not make any money from him going to that conference. Not like I get an affiliate deal. He buys a ticket. I don't make any money off that. But because I gave him that connection. Now he's going to go do more stuff. Now he's going to remember me. When I need something, I could call him. He might know somebody that I need sometime in the future. It might be 3 years from now. It might be 5 years from now. It might be next week. But this is why you go and make the connections. And this is something that I've been saying for years. And I talk about this in my people skills course in Work on Your Game University. There is no downside to having more positive relationships with more people. The more people you got positive relationships with, the better. So you always want to be building relationships, shaking hands, making friends. And again, if you're in business, you got to go to where the people are at. You can't do business without people. You can't sell anything if you don't know a person. If people don't know who you are, they can't give you money. So you got to go to where the people are at. Now, of course, social media is one of the places that people are. I'm on social media right now. If you follow me on Instagram, you see I use social media every day. Here's the thing though, folks, and I said this in my story yesterday. If you looked at my story, please watch my story from yesterday. Y'all going to miss a good amount of it by this point because it's only 24 hours. But here's the thing. You got to be in the room and not on Zoom. Now, I said that yesterday. I said I should trademark that. You got to be in the room and not on Zoom. It is not the same being at the virtual version of the event as being in the real life version of an event. This is why I don't like doing virtual events. When I do events, a lot of people were asking me when I did my last event, Dre, you going to have virtual tickets so I can attend the event online? No, I don't do virtual events. I don't like attending virtual events. I don't like doing virtual events. There's a whole different situation when you are shaking people's hands and looking them in the eyes and being in the room. Yesterday, all the stuff you saw me doing on my story yesterday, you can't do that on Zoom. You can't shake somebody's hand on Zoom. You can't make a real connection and talk to somebody for 30 minutes who you never met before through Zoom because there's no real connection. There's no energy exchange. So yesterday before the event, I walked around for an hour, met a bunch of people. The event ended at 3:30 yesterday, 3:30 in the afternoon. That was the last day of the event. After that, you go out into the lobby, like the hallway outside the venue, and they were giving everybody champagne, glasses of wine, stuff like that. Very well-run event, very professionally run. Everybody's hanging out in the hallway. I was hanging in the hallway from 3:30 till 8 o'clock. The event was over. What was I doing from 3:30 to 8 o'clock? Talking to people, shaking hands, exchanging information. So the guy I just told you about, I told him, yo, I'm going to this conference over here in April. You should come to this other one in Orlando in like September. He was like, yeah, I'm going to do that because I need some things that conference is going to be offering. He said, I know a dude who helps people who are in the coaching business, how they set their stuff up so they can make more money in their coaching stuff. So he went and introduced me to that dude. Me and that dude exchanged information. That guy might help me be able to get more and better leads and prospects and clients for my coaching business. So I offered him something. He offered me something. But again, it doesn't have to always be like that. It's not transactional. Like I might be able to give him some info. He don't have anything to offer me right now on the spot. That's okay. Because I know he's a good guy and I know he's about something. 2 years from now, he might know all the people that I need. He might be able to give me more back than I gave him yesterday, 2 years from now, because he's going to keep coming up and getting better. So this is how you trade in relationships. Not all transactional. It's about building with people who are serious about going somewhere. And the way that you find those people is to go to the events, because the only people who come to events are people who are, first of all, serious about their business. They have to show that they're serious because they got to put money in to come to an event. All right. That's why you charge money for events. So everybody in the room paid for the ticket. So you know that they're serious. This is not a bunch of freeloaders just showing up on Facebook. This is people who actually paid money. They traveled to get there. They paid for the hotel. They got to pay for their food. And you got to be doing something, or at least you got to be looking to do something if you're willing to do all that stuff. So y'all understand all this? So that's the productivity side. I also kind of tapped into everything I wanted to say here. The productivity side, the time side, you save time by getting more stuff done through other people than you will ever get done on your own. There's only so much one person can do. Right? You don't know everything. You can't do everything. You only got two hands. You can't do it all. And you can only be in one place at a time. But if you know 30 people who are all serious about business, if you know 5 people who are serious about business, now you got 5 different people all making moves at the same time, as opposed to one person trying to do everything by themselves. And the other thing, the last part, is this is our nature as human beings. We are wired to connect to other people. It's part of our nature to connect. We are socially engineered to engage and interact with other people. We're not supposed to be doing everything by ourselves. You're not supposed to be an isolated individual. You're supposed to be dealing with and working with other people. So don't try to do everything on your own. If you have been doing everything on your own, stop doing that. Go work with other people, connect with other individuals, and start building your business by building relationships. That's the biggest thing in business, is the connections and the relationships. Is the number one thing that when people are looking to get something done business wise, what's the first thing you look for? Do I know anybody who's already solved this problem? Do I know somebody? That's the first thing. If you don't know anybody, then the next thing is you go ask people you know if they might know somebody. And if you can't get anything there, then you go to somewhere like the internet or the Google. Challenge for many of you is that you start on the internet or Google because you don't know anybody. You don't have any relationships. You don't have any connections. You're basically trying to do everything by yourself as a lone wolf. And listen, a lone wolf can thrive and survive if you work hard enough and you're lucky enough and you're in the right space at the right time. The thing is, if you got a pack with you, you got other people who are serious too, all of you will eat better, all of you will thrive, and all of you will last longer and get a lot more done together than any of you will ever do by yourselves. So with all that said, if there's a question or two, I will go ahead and address it. I got to get out of here. I'm about to check out of this hotel, and then we got to get out of here and get back to Miami. It's 40 something degrees here in Vegas. A lot of people think about Vegas and they think hot. It gets cold in the desert. Got a clinic tomorrow. Been helping for sure about connections and relationships. All right, that's what's up. So if there's a question, anybody got a question, post it, and then I gotta finish packing up my stuff and get out of here. They're probably gonna start knocking on my door. Checkout time is coming up in like 2 seconds. All right, so we're gonna wrap this one up. I might do another live from the airport. We'll see if the Wi-Fi is good. Somebody said, can you go over the follow-up in a different live? The follow-up is, you should definitely, first of all, get into the people skills and the business builder course inside of Work on Your Game University. That's the number one thing you should do for that. But that's where, as far as building the relationships, what I just talked about right now is, first of all, being in the room so you can make the connections. But then the details of it, the follow-up is more like a detailed thing. I got exclusive trainings inside the university where I talk about that with the CRM. And also that's why I built the business builder course, also the people skills course. So it's a good question, but you should come into the university. That's a more specific how-to thing. This is more of a what-to thing if you really want that. So come into the university, workonyourgameuniversity.com. Anybody who wants more on that. All right, everybody, let me wrap this up so I can get the hell out of here. All right, y'all have a great day. Work on your game.